Yes guys, welcome back to TGS F1, where today we are looking at 5 weird but wonderful Formula 1 trophies. Now, trophies and trophy presentations have a long and storied tradition in the sport, starting off from small trackside gatherings of winners, sponsors and organisers, through to the modern day where elaborate sideshows with levitating cars, dancing matadors wearing giant sombreros have somehow become commonplace. Now, unfortunately, in the present climate, trophy presentations and podiums have had to become more subdued than the scenes we're used to. Lando Norris and Pierre Gasly, for example, having to celebrate key milestones within their careers without any fans and on a pretty watered-down podium ceremony. But one thing that has never changed is the level of achievement and pride that a Formula 1 driver must have when being awarded their podium trophy. But not all trophies are created equal, and one thing that is becoming more and more commonplace in Formula 1 are the title sponsor trophies, which in my opinion are very generic, pretty boring, non-race specific, and they make their way into the hands of the drivers, and to be honest, most of them are fucking crap. That being said, some of them are so fucking crap that they're actually good. And over the years, we've had some exceptions to the traditional trophy with some wild and wacky designs that have been dished out to podium sitters. And today, I'm going to be looking at 5 weird, but what I would consider wonderful designs for F1 trophies. In at 5 is the 2014 Austrian Grand Prix trophy. Won by Nico Rosberg, with the second and third place going to Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas. This trophy is much more unique and far more elaborate and eye-catching than the current trophy, which is essentially just the outline of the track, which to me is a growing theme we're seeing in Formula 1 and I don't really like it. Now admittedly, whilst this 2014 trophy looks like some sort of mad ornate decoration worth millions of pounds purchased at an art museum, I did think it looked pretty cool and still do think it looks pretty cool, to the point that it is weird but wonderful. And the reason I like it is it's very different from the norm and the type of thing we're used to seeing on the podium. So that makes its way in at number 5. Now, in at 4 is probably the most corporate and, to be honest, objectively boring looking trophy in terms of the aesthetic on this list. But I do think it's pretty cool, and it is the 2011 Singapore Grand Prix trophy, won by, at the time, Red Bull, now Aston Martin's Sebastian Vettel. The design incorporates multiple colours against varying levels of tower to represent the skyline that the team race under, and whilst perhaps it's a little bit underwhelming initially to look at, I actually think as a sponsor trophy that they tried to make this a little bit more unique, put something in there that really brought the track and the meaning of that trophy to life, and for that reason, I really do actually quite like it, and that is in at number 4. In at 3, we have the 2014 Chinese Grand Prix Cup. Won by Lewis Hamilton and the Mercedes team, it is a clear nod to the country's traditions and heritage. Ironically enough, this is actually the feature image on a Telegraph article titled "Lewis Hamilton is fed up with the poor standard of trophies in Formula 1. So I was going to go to that article and get a direct quote on what Lewis thought of it at the time, but I'm too fucking skint to pay the sub fee to the Telegraph to bother reading it. So what do you guys think? Is this one weird and wonderful, or just weird and In at 2 is the epic 2018 French Grand Prix Pirelli Gorilla. Now, it has the tricolor gorilla on its holding aloft attire. When at first it was introduced, I'm not going to lie, I have to admit I was sat there thinking, trust the bloody French to go absolutely rogue with their trophy and their trophy presentation. However, the more I look at it and the longer they brought it back to the podium, it has grown on me quite a bit. And in recent times, they've even delineated the colours of the tricolor to represent different podium positions. And I have to admit, this one is a bit of a banger. And in numero uno, if you haven't guessed already, it is of course Ayrton Senna's winner's trophy from the Formula 1 1993 European Grand Prix. And it's essentially Sonic the Hedgehog sat on a Sega plinth. I mean, you quite literally couldn't make it up, but somebody did. And whilst it raised eyebrows at the time, it was of course just a publicity stunt for Sega, and after the chance to hold Sonic the Hedgehog aloft, all drivers were presented with their official race trophies. To me, it's become iconic in its own right, if not only for the man who got to lift it. And this photo really cracks me up every time I see it. So there are my 5 weird but wonderful Formula 1 trophies. What do you guys think? Are there other trophies in Formula 1 that you think are a bit weird or a bit wonderful? Do you think the ones that I've chosen are just weird and crap? Do you actually like them totally outright? You just like them, they think they're sick? Let me know what you think. Link me in some of the comments to the trophies that you guys love and the ones you love to hate, and tell me what else is there in Formula 1 that you think is a bit weird, bit wacky, but I love it. Please do drop a like, subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you on the next one.